Good evening, I'm Joe Ginger. Welcome to How to Improve Your Horseshoe. The following tape was made in October of 1987. I enjoyed playing horseshoe, and two of my most memorable times is when the late Ken Gibney and I won the 1987 Fulton County Doubles Horseshoe Tournament in Lewiston, and also getting 49 ringers out of 100 throws at the Tremont Horseshoe League in 1987. You'll have a chance to see and hear from some of the best horseshoe players in Central Illinois on this tape. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Good evening, I'm Joe Ginger, and welcome to How to Improve Your Horseshoe Game. I'd like to thank everyone which has helped make this tape possible. Many of the horseshoe players was very uncomfortable with being in front of the camera, but had the courage to do so. It is greatly appreciated. Fulton County has been blessed with many outstanding horseshoe players, but the best of all was the late Truman Standard, which was the Illinois State Champion in 1953, 1954, and 1956. We will now go to some of the history on horseshoe.
Hi, I'm Sandra Northrup, and I would like to talk a little bit about the history of horseshoes. The origin of horseshoe pitching is somewhat shrouded in mystery. Different writers have given different versions of its beginning. The most likely origin is that it became a substitute for the Olympic game of discus throwing. The Norman soldiers are said to have brought along the game of horseshoes to England when they invaded that country. There are indications that horseshoes were first pitched in England by women and children, and that eventually the men began to pitch them also. The early settlers in America brought along the game of horseshoes. By the time the Revolutionary War was fought, it was almost played exclusively. Horseshoe pitching has been played continuously from that time until present in all parts of the United States. Our soldiers, in their leisure time, have played in almost every war. The game as we know it today is a very recent one. It came into existence around 1920, at which time pitching the open shoe became a deliberate scientific attempt rather than a blind toss with merely a hope that it would be a ringer. Around this time, there was many things that dramatically changed horseshoe pitching from a haphazard game with no standard rules to a well-organized game that can take place alongside bowling, golf, or other individual sports. A few of these changes were the formation of an organization or governing body, the adoption of standard rules, the development of the open shoe, and the manufacturing of standard pitching shoes with better hooks and balance.
Hi, I'm Chuck Grigsby. I'm here today to explain the tool used to measure horseshoes in a pit. This tool is mostly used at tournaments. Your average play here in their backyard, most generally people won't use it, but at tournaments, the people want to measure shoes correctly and be accurate, so they use this tool. We've got a straight edge here on the tool that we can measure ringers if they're close. We've got a shoe laying in a pit like this that looks like it may not be around a stake all the way. So we take this tool and we touch the tips of the shoes. When you got it on the tips of your shoes, if it doesn't touch the stake, then that counts as 3 points. That's a ringer. Now we've also got on this tool here, you see this slot, we've got within this 6 inches here, this counts as a point, and you measure your shoes like this. If it touches your shoe, it can count as a point. Now, anything within this here can count as a point, but you've also got other shoes in the pit, like you may have shoes in here like this that are closer. If you've got two shoes that look like they're about the same, we've got a pair of calipers here on the tool to measure, see which shoe's the closest. So we take it and we lay it up against the peg and a shoe like this here, then go over here to the other one, and you can see that this one here is closer. Now we measure all of our shoes like that. Now if you've got a shoe up against the stake and one up against the stake like this here, anything that touches the stake is just 1 point. A lot of people think that this leaner counts as 2. That's not true. Everything in the pit is either 1 point or 3. So you've just got these two shoes up against the stake, neither one of them counts a point, but if this one isn't against there, this is still just 1 point. Now after we've done that, we've got a file on here to dress up the shoes. Sometimes when you throw them into the pit, they hit another shoe and they get a nick on them. And we take this file and we can clean the burrs off of them so we don't nick up our fingers when we're playing horseshoes. And that's basically about all we've got to say about this tool. It's a lot of fun playing horseshoes, and I recommend a lot of people get out and do it. I really enjoy it myself. Thank you.
I'm Pat Bloyd, and this is a sample of how we set our horseshoe pegs in the ground. We start with approximately a 2-foot piece of 8x8 railroad tie, and we drilled a 15/16 hole in it, then approximately, so we'd have 3 inches of angle on our stake. Then we ground a leading edge on the stake, on the steel 1-inch steel stake, and drove it in that 15/16 hole so the pin would be in there nice and tight. Then after you, then you dig your hole out and set your stake to where you've got 15 inches of your pin sticking out of the ground. Then put your clay in the hole and measure 40 foot to the other end of the court, and you've got your horseshoe court pit up.
Hi, my name's Dick Grove. I'm from Canton, Illinois, and I'd like to explain the court. The court starts with a 6x6 box with a pit area in the center that is 3 feet wide by 4 feet long, with 1.5 feet on each side of the peg of the stake and 2 feet at the front and rear of the stake. And in the center we had the stake, which is separated from the other stake by a distance of 40 feet with a 3-inch slope, with the top of the stake 3 inches closer to the other pit than the bottom of the stake. And the stake is 15 inches high. Then on the pitching area, you can shoot from either side of the box, with the foul line being the front of the box. For women, boys 16 and under, and men 70 and over, you can shoot from 10 feet closer, or 30 feet as compared to the 40 feet normal.
Hello, my name is Dave Anderson. I'd like to tell you about 2 ways to score points in horseshoes. The first way is your count all system, which is used in your league games, where both teams will count all their points. They shoot 50 shoes per game, 3 games per night. The second way is your cancellation system, which is used in your tournaments and backyard games. Person closest will receive the point and will shoot first in the next pitch. They shoot 30, 40, 50 points, and naturally your loser will be the first shooter in the next game.
Hello, my name is Jim Campbell. In order to get a ringer, you must do 2 things. Number 1 is you must throw hard enough and straight enough at the pin. Number 2 is the shoe must be in the open position. Hand positionings are for a 1 1/4 turn, a 1 3/4 turn, and a flip-flop. A dog is a lucky ringer. Anything that hits close and bounces up. This is a double. This is 4 dead, which cancels any points. The pit area, or mud, is made up of dirt, sand, or clay. Blue clay is the best.
Hi, I'm Harold Barnett. Here's a few safety tips on playing horseshoes. One, when you throw the shoe, it can sometimes hit the peg and spin and fly off in a direction that could be dangerous. Another, when you throw the shoe, it could hit the top of the peg and also go unwildly. When you pitch the shoe sometimes, it could get hung up in your hand and go in a wild direction. Always have your opponent stand over in the safe corner so he'll be safe and you'll know that he will not distract the pitcher. Tournament courts have a backing board back here that's about 2 foot high and about 3 feet wide to stop the shoe from going back and maybe injuring somebody and not going astray. And last, sometimes you drop the shoe accidentally and it can hit your foot and cause severe damage. So play horseshoes and have a lot of fun, and remember these safety tips.
Coming up next is your stance, motion, and rhythm. Every good horseshoe player has a routine that he tries to follow every time. Luke Morinage will explain this, and then I'll follow up with an example of throwing horseshoes.
Hi, I'm Luke Morinage. I'm here today to explain about the fine game of horseshoe pitching. I've been pitched about the last 14 years. And what I want to tell you about is what I went through to establish a stance. Everybody seems to have a different one, the one that fits me the best. I always use the 3/4 turn delivery. And I stayed with it, but it's not the best hold in horseshoes. And I learned about the turn from Truman Standard. He was a professional and he was a champ. But everybody gets set up different. I set up on the line, on the toes to the stake. And always bring my shoe up in the horizontal position. And then, as you come down, you bring your shoe in the vertical position. And as you have it down here, you step forward, take the big step, and then before you let go, you have it almost horizontal. And that gives me the 3/4 turn. But the key is to get the momentum to throw that shoe 40 feet. And the key to it is just follow through. You've got to have that back swing. It's got to be repetitious, the same one every time. You've got to let go. You've got to sight on that stake. And you've got to hit the stake down there. And that's the one I had problem with. It was the other stake. The one beside me never bothered me.
How you doing, folks? My name's Matt Canavat. This is Craig Mitchell here, Kenny Van Houten, Kevin Williams, and Dave Anderson. And we're pretty much just a bunch of weekend warriors as far as the horseshoes goes, and we like to get together and have a good time, throw a few games, have a little competition together, and just have a good time. Like to see a lot of you folks out there try the game out once in a while. It's a lot of fun.
He got that one on tape, Dave. He followed it right on through.
You don't catch these, man. These aren't catchers.
I don't think the second one went on anyway.
Hi, my name is Crystal Marie Northrup. Horseshoe is a very good game for many people, from the young to the very old, so give it a try. Of course, people like my age would want to use these.
Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see some more horseshoe players soon. For more information on the Fulton County Horseshoe Club, call Dick Ellinger in Lewiston. Thank you.